Well, gang, it might be time that you gotta hide your kids real quick. It is currently 3 in the morning, East Coast, West Coast, you already know. But apparently, we have Dr. Stephen Greer now claiming, and this is a new interview, by the way, he is reconfirming that we're gonna be having not just a disclosure, but a full disclosure with aliens, UFOs, and we're gonna have it. I want to show you this Newsmax clip, all right? And it is really insane. Just keep in mind, I'm not the one saying it. It's Dr. Stephen Greer's word, and I hope to God that this is real, because if it turns out to be a baloney, it's gonna hurt him, though. It's gonna hurt him bad. I'm talking about, like, you know, metaphorically speaking, and it's gonna hurt his credentials. But I want to say, if you're new here, hey, it's a pleasure to have you. Like the video if you want to see what's behind this drawing, because apparently this drawing that you see of this alien twat here, they're saying it's real, folks. So yeah, if you want to see that video, I can definitely upload that soon. Like the video for that, but first of all, roll it.
Dr. Stephen Greer is back with us. He's the founder of the Disclosure Project. Dr. Greer has been consistent with us for weeks that there is a disclosure coming before the presidential inauguration, which now leaves us with 10 days. Dr. Greer, it's great to have you back. This is where we are right now. A flight crew on a commercial airplane recorded this large orb in the skies while they were at 17,000 feet. And now people, we mentioned this a week ago, are reportedly getting sick all over the world from this granular, mysterious fog.
From fog to, from orbs, plasmoids, UFOs, drones, in New Jersey to Los Angeles, LA fires, and apparently I uploaded a video just a couple of hours back. Apparently a UFO drone, whatever you want to call it, even hit a plane mid-flight, and Trump also responded on it, and we had like a lot of UFO sightings in that clips. This is just like an emergency video, but I will link you that video in the pinned comment, but that's literally the previous video. Definitely check it out after this one, but wait for it.
Fog that's being seen all over the place. Right. Does this disclosure happen next week? And if it does, how does it happen? When it starts happening, how will we know?
Yeah.
Well, it'll be all over the news, and it's good to see you again. I just heard an hour ago from the, we call the Nuke, he's non-official cover aerospace intelligence community, a senior operator from one of the key black sites, 2 black sites out in the western United States, and they are preparing to do this next week. I don't have an exact date. They intend to not only provide their testimony of operations, he's been there almost 30 years, but also the evidence and other details. Now, he's been involved in 2 things. One is the testing and the surveillance of the man-made UAPs that have been manufactured out of the Lockheed Skunk Works and Northrop Grumman complexes out in the heights.
For context, real quick, according to Dr. Stephen Greer and also one of the former FBI agent, the drones that you saw in New Jersey, apparently they were ours, but by reverse engineered based off of the real alien technology. His words, not mine. I would like to believe that they're a mix of both, but he says that, of course, like, we're not alone. Now, the question here is that, is this gonna be a full-blown disclosure, as in the government comes out, the Pentagon comes out, and they're like, yeah, we're not alone? I don't think so. I feel like that it's gonna be more so somebody, I guess, with hopefully decent enough credentials that comes out and like, okay, we get like pictures, we get more videos, right, and more proof. That's the vibe I'm getting. I feel like that this is the route it's going. I want to know your thoughts, but apparently there's plenty more. I skimmed through it and I've seen like the first 5 to 6 minutes off it, and I was like, okay, gotta make a video on it. You know?
Desert. Okay. The other is the targeting of non-human craft. Some would say extraterrestrial, some say alien. The words they're using now is NHI, non-human intelligence, and the downing of those objects. So he's been intimately involved. I've been at his facility, and that is on track. Now, keep in mind, so much of what is being seen now is sort of a decoy false flag operation, sort of trying to intercept what he's going to be doing and what we've been doing for some time. And
but there's no way, Dr. Greer, we've talked about, there's no way all of this can be a false flag. It's all over the world now. It's being seen over cities in India, cities in South Korea. It's just the coordination that would be required to do something like that. I think it's beyond the scope, unless there is something going on.
Honey, hide the kids real quick, because Dr. Stephen Greer is coming to dinner tonight.
I'm completely unaware of, which of course is a possibility. 3 questions, these are just yes or no's. Are aliens already here? Yes or no?
Oh, sure. I mean, there have been non-human extraterrestrial civilizations that have been observing the planet for thousands of years, and it increased remarkably once we detonated the first atomic bomb. There's no question about that. In fact, this particular team coming forward have dealt with the remains and on occasion living non-human life forms that have been downed, and some are still in captivity in subterranean facilities.
Free them aliens, bro. Free them aliens, man. Free them aliens and then charge them taxes like a real citizen, okay? You imagine, okay, like, this is gonna be hilarious if that ever happens in our lifetime, where, okay, we have a full alien disclosure, right? We see the images, we see the videos. At first, people not gonna believe it. Secondly, I guess people gonna be panicking if it turns out they're bad, right? Dr. Stephen Greer is saying that they're not bad. Okay, let's just say, right, let's be positive about it. Let's be optimistic about it, okay? We got a full-blown disclosure. We got pictures, images, and videos, right? And we actually see them in real life, and it turns out it's good. It turns out it's good, and everybody's cool with it. Like, are we gonna, will our politicians, like, hit them up with, you need a passport now, bro? Will that actually happen? Hey, you need a passport to fly around, right? What if, oh man, oh how cute, you got a UFO, how cute, man, you need a UFO license now. You imagine. But now, jokes aside though, just trying to keep it lighthearted. Seriously, this is serious, folks, no pun intended. And of course, if you have been around the channel, if you're brand new, if this is your first time here, I like to keep it lighthearted, but I am a believer in the topic, and I have been very much interested in this topic for years, man, for years and years. And 2025, 2024, I should say, ever since Pentagon confirmed the UFO stuff, it has been like, we are going somewhere with this. It felt like that, yeah, it's a disclosure, it's imminent, it's imminent. It's been years, but it genuinely feels like that they have been drip feeding us. And of course, like November of last year, December, we're now in January 2025. Let us know when you're watching this video. 2050, did it happen, did it not? Let us know. But it certainly is feeling like that they are giving us the breadcrumbs, and they have been increasing the intensity of dropping those breadcrumbs to us by 100% now, right? Like, it's going fast. It really is going fast, and they are surely, not slowly, certainly not slowly, they surely are getting us ready for something. I'm a believer in that yes, disclosure is gonna happen, but is it gonna happen this week? I don't know, man. Seriously, nobody knows. I mean, Dr. Stephen Greer is seemingly very confident. I feel like that it's one of the insider that's gonna leak, and not necessarily the Pentagon or the government. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. Let me know your thoughts, but let's continue.
Facilities or stiffs.
To me, Dr. Greer feels like, and you answered my other question, it feels like right now the public worldwide is being primed for something.
Yeah,
for the
100%.
last 50 years, we've had movies about aliens. Going back to Roswell, we've had reports of flying saucers. And now people, not just in northern New Jersey, are seeing strange things in the sky. It seems like these beings are technologically far superior than we are. And they're doing this with incredible patience, priming a worldwide audience for something else. Do you agree with that? And then what are they priming us for?
Uh-oh.
Well, it's very complex, but the bottom line it is they've been waiting for humans to acknowledge their presence so that they don't have to force into it, which could look aggressive, because they're not aggressive, obviously.
Force into it like land in Times Square, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do something like that. They're going to do...
Aw, man, come on, man. I want them to, and that's the thing. Jokes aside though, people are not gonna believe it till we have a massive UFO, right? Not, let's just say, similar to a plane, because that's what people were saying. It's just planes, it's just drones. And then slowly but surely people were like, okay, now there's some bull squash happening. It's something more than just a drone. But still, we need, for everybody to believe and for it to be clear, we need a massive UFO, clearly a UFO, either landing or, and we have heard cases that UFOs have landed in the past, but I mean to say either a UFO circling around or landing, let's just say New York City, or somewhere where there are a lot of people and they can actually pull out their phone, not just record it, but live stream the crap out of it. Till that happens, people are not gonna believe it. And also, you just don't need one guy live streaming, you need a lot of people live streaming from their perspective, from different angles. Let's just say there's a UFO in the sky, right? And there's like Bob over there, okay? There's Bobby there, there's Johnny here. We need everybody, we need all these suckers recording that crap, putting it on YouTube, live streaming, what have you, and then news actually picking it up. Till that happens, I think it's always gonna be, hey man, the proof isn't strong enough. But we are really living in strange times where a lot of people are believing in this phenomenon. A lot of people do believe that we're not alone, right? Maybe you believe that we're alone, and that's cool. That's cool. Everybody got their own belief. And so I know some of you also believe that these are demons, these are angels, fallen angels, demons, Nephilims, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And yeah, if this is your belief, hey, this is your belief. I respect that. As for me, I do believe that we're not alone, mathematically speaking, based off of what they have been saying to us, that there are billions of galaxies within each galaxy. There are billions of planets. If this is true as to what they say, we cannot be alone. Mathematically speaking, we just cannot be alone. And based off of the UFOs, the sightings, and all the whistleblowers coming out, the higher ups in the militaries, we've heard deathbed confessions from so many different people. It's just impossible for us to be alone. That's my opinion, of course, not a fact. That's my opinion. So yeah, we definitely need answers. We need answers.
Sort of an acculturation,
right?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do something like that. They're going to do a sort of an acculturation and desensitization operation.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Which means it's gradual.
Okay.
And it has been over the decades. Now, the big problem here are rogue military-industrial complex operations that have reverse engineered these extremely advanced technologies and can use them and stage them in. And this is where everyone, when I say everyone, I mean everyone from the generals that I had briefed at the Pentagon to director of the CIA, past, not incoming. And that is that they greatly underestimate what has been developed. I mean, Ben Rich, before he died, who was head of Lockheed Skunk Works, said, anything you can imagine that you've seen on Star Trek, we've already figured out, and it's out there in the desert. He says, not Area 51.
Okay.
Talking about
how far ahead of us? And the last time you were on, you said there are multiple different.
That's the thing, though. You know, S4, ever since Bob Lazar spilled the beans and the public started to find out about it, and ever since S4 Area 51 went mainstream, this is the conspiracy, right? This is the narrative you started hearing about, that yeah, Area 51, everything that you heard was true. But once it got super big, once everybody found out about what it was, they actually moved somewhere else. Codename Area 52. Maybe now it's something else. And I don't know where that is, but this is the narrative, right? Not my opinion, and this is not me finding out. This is literally like the whistleblowers. That's what like the whistleblowers have been saying for years. Once they got super big, once Area 51 got super big, they just moved away from that. Just too many eyes, too much pressure from the public, and I guess.
How far ahead of us? And the last time you were on, you said there are multiple different alien societies from different planets visiting us.
Right.
How far ahead of us are they?
At least 60 to 70 that have been documented.
60 to 70
that I know about. Yes.
And how far? Where are they technologically? 1,000 years ahead? 1,000,000 years ahead?
60?
They'd be in the many thousands to millions of years more advanced, and there are different civilizations at different development, both socially, spiritually, and technologically. None of them are hostile, obviously. With the kind of technology they have, they would have, as Congressman Burchett once said, it would be a charcoal briquette floating through space if they were overtly hostile. But they appear to be very concerned with our own hostility and the development of very powerful weapons.
If they landed, Dr. Greer, could they communicate with us?
I'm sure they can. I mean, I don't know how that would exactly take place. It may be some strange, I mean, remember, one of the things that Elon Musk is working on at Neuralink is an interface between thought and machine.
Right.
And now I will tell you, this is a big secret that's going to come out very quickly with this team, because they dealt with this, is that there is a direct interface between technology and consciousness and thought that's been developed by these advanced civilizations. This is not Ma Bell we're talking about here.
There's a lot to unpack here, and honestly, I have seen Dr. Stephen Greer Unacknowledged. Very good documentary. If you have not seen it, I recommend it. But a lot of you believe in him, and a lot of you don't, which is understandable, and that's fair. And what he just said is kind of vague. What I mean by this is that, okay, some of them are thousands years to million years advanced. Logically makes sense, but that's vague, right? That's vague. But I understand that this is like a 10-minute, 20 minutes-ish interview, so he's not gonna go in detail. Perhaps he has already gone in detail in some other podcast, so I don't want to use this point to just completely dismiss his claim, but it's very vague. Again, it's very vague. And on the question of, hey, are they gonna be able to speak English? Yeah, right. Telepathic communication is something that you hear all the time. Maybe that's true, maybe not. And also, he said 60 species at least that we know of, and none of them are hostile. I don't know about this one, because yes, there have been deathbed confessions, and there have been some other, like one of the Canadian defense minister, he is now no longer with us, but there have been whistleblowers and other, I guess, so-called messiah, right? They have said that some of them are hostile and some of them are not. You obviously have conspiracy theories related to, hey, you know, Dulce base, some of the Alamos, some of these aliens have made treaties with the US government. They have held their hand and they were like, okay, we're not gonna let it go. We're not gonna let it go. And you know, US, they had a program, and that's a conspiracy theory, okay? It doesn't mean it's real or fake, but they actually shook hands with the US government, and US government was like, okay, you guys can do your operations. You wanna know what their operation is? According to this conspiracy theory, abductions of the humans. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. In exchange of their technology. Now, here's what you hear about it, that the reason US government signed, allegedly, this deal, allegedly, with these bad aliens is because they are so advanced. If they wanted to kill us, they would be able to, and at the time they did sign the deal, us humans were not that advanced, so it was like a small price to pay for them to abduct some humans. And this is where the entirety of the cattle mutilation, you know, abduction cases comes into play. Is it real, or is it a psyop, or is it just he said she said kind of situation? It just keeps you, you know, these are the thoughts that keeps you up at night, and I love talking about that crap, you know. If you're new, definitely subscribe, because this is what we do. And also on top, we do some random stuff and gaming stuff too. I mean, that was the channel, but now we're covering this and you guys seem to like it, so I'm continuing. But roll it.
In terms of developed by these advanced civilizations, this is not Ma Bell we're talking about here. In terms of communication. So it's that's just a prelude. We don't have time to unpack that, but I know about that in a very specialized fashion.
Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon, Sea of Tranquility, 1969, Apollo 11. Over the decades, he hinted at several things. One, that aliens are living right now in bases on Antarctica and under the ocean. His words, not mine. The second, that the moon landing in 1969 never actually happened. The third, and most interesting, I think, is that on the dark side of the moon doesn't spin like the Earth. When they orbited in Apollo 11, they photographed and saw with their own eyes structures that clearly were built by somebody. Can you confirm or deny any of that?
I can absolutely confirm we did go to the moon, but when we went, we weren't alone, and that was known prior to the 1969 moon landing, and I'll tell you why. If you go to our Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, dpiarchive.com, you will see, and it's free to go there, you'll see the testimony of Carl Wolf, who in 1968 was at a National Security Agency relay station at Langley Air Force Base.
Carl Wolf was killed, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was killed. I mean, we've had a lot of losses.
Run over by a truck or something like that? Mysteriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Greer, we're just very tight on time.
I was mysteriously almost killed about 14 months ago. But my point is that these, when they did the lunar orbiter, when they were mapping, you know, where they were going to planning to land, there were these structures that were seen, and he came forward with that 25 years ago at the first Disclosure Project press conference in May of 2001. So we've known about this for some time, and he actually saw the images, the early digital photographs, and what have you of those structures. So
It's
we
just
know that there's,
unbelievable.
yeah, and this is all.
He's like really much baffled. Hashtag baffled gang rise up. Honey, you can now hide the kids. Hide the kids. We got Dr. Stephen Greer. I'm not sure for how long he's gonna be out here for dinner. Okay, so I cannot guarantee. You gotta hide the kids. Hide the kids. Hide the kids.
Yeah, and this is all going to eventually come out.
Let me just ask you. We're so tight on time, Dr. Greer. The Las Vegas suicide bomber. So he wrote this manifesto that they're trying to suppress, like they do with everything else. But it sort of ebbs into this world. Is there any connection just between what is going to happen next week and what we saw in Las Vegas on New Year's Day?
Correct. There is. And it again, that was sort of a psychological warfare operation by someone in special forces, giving a heads up on this. It's not a coincidence it happened at the Trump building and that it was in a Cybertruck. He refers to gravitic propulsion systems. And that's what's going to be coming out because we have mastered gravity control for decades. And this is why many of the crap people see that they think is alien.
And he wrote about that in the manifesto. Just a final question.
He did.
Following whatever happens next week, if it...
Yeah, they're out of time. That's why he's cutting him off, right? Okay, so it seems like that we're getting I cannot pronounce that. Gravity control stuff. Okay, if this comes out, I think it's not gonna be enough. But I think it's gonna be satisfying if we get disclosure in terms of that. Because if that anti-gravity stuff comes out, that disclosure happens, then it's gonna be like, hey, who made that? How did we get it? You know, like, we're gonna have so many these types of questions, and I think a lot of the normies will start to wake up too. But yeah, we need like a full-blown disclosure, and to me it sounds like, guys, we're not getting a government level disclosure. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. To me it sounds like that it's gonna be another one of the whistleblower, just like David Grush, kinda. I think that's what's coming. But we got one last question here. Let's see.
It does happen. Does Donald Trump question?
He did.
Following whatever happens next week, if it does happen, does Donald Trump need to appoint somebody like yourself as an alien czar or a UAP czar?
Well, this has been suggested. We'll see. I mean, of course, the president, you serve at his pleasure. As it is, I've been an unofficial advisor for many administrations on this. And now that this is going to be coming to a head, we'll see if he wants someone to do that. If I would certainly consider it if I was asked, but that has not happened.
Dr. Greer, I'm interested.
I really hope something comes, man, because if nothing comes, then it's really gonna tarnish his reputation. And I gotta be honest, like, I've seen Unacknowledged in his other documentaries, and they have been very good, though. You know, they have been very good, and he does bring a lot of very substantial enough discussion and proof in that, alongside like many higher ups with good credentials and whistleblowers that do they actually blew the lid off it. So I really hope it's real. I really hope it happens. And guys, this is that video, okay? We apparently have a UFO that almost hit, I mean, not even almost, actually hit the plane. We got so many different sightings. We got Trump's response to it as well. And there's just way too much. Even Baba Wanga's prediction to the aliens. I put a lot of that in this video. Check it out, and I'll see you right there.